Hi, this is Hongshu from motioncircles.com. In today's video, I'll teach you how to do this animation in After Effects. Without further ado, let's get started. Now let's get started with this animation here. I already have my procrastination word within After Effects. Basically, we're still using the same font. This one is Rock Grotesque Regular, and this bigger one is a condensed extra bold. Now let's get started with the path animation. First, we need to right click, create shapes from text, and then we can hide these two layers. Let's go into the path property. Let's hit the stopwatch, add a keyframe on everything. This is similar to the animation we did before in the success lesson. And now we're doing the same thing. We just copy the path information between these two layers to morph between the shapes. Let's go copy these two. Go for 25 frames. And then we're gonna paste down here for the P. I just need to make sure where my baseline is so that it's sitting on my baseline. That works. And then let's go do the same thing for the R. Let's copy the keyframes. And then let's go to the letter R here. Paste it in. Make sure it's sitting on the baseline. Then let's do the O. That's good, and then we just need to copy the same keyframe onto the top layer and make the top layer bigger and thicker. Let's go copy from the first one, P, over here, and then let's go paste it on here. I just need to find my top line and make sure it's just sitting on my top guideline here. Let's go R, and we're gonna speed up this part as well while I'm pasting in the keyframe, just repeating the same thing. Alright, now we have all the keyframes. If I hit U on the keyboard, you can see. Now I just need to copy the first set of keyframe on the bottom layer. Copy it and then go forward 25 frames again. Paste them in so that it go back to the original position, and then we can have one loop of the animation, and we'll do the same thing for the first layer. And now we would have just one loop animation like this. Let's select all the keyframes and then right click, go to keyframe assistant, easy ease. Let's go to the graph editor, fit the graph to view, make sure we're inside the speed graph, and let's drag this curve outside, maybe all the way to, let's try 85% of influence. And then we're gonna drag it on this side as well, 85% of influence. We'll do the same thing over here. Make it around 85% so that we have a consistent animation throughout. So it's going to be 85%. Let's see the animation for now. Right now there's only one loop, so it's hard to see. Let's duplicate the keyframes on each layer. We're going to do it one by one. Let's select everything on the second layer, Command C. Duplicate it 3 times, so we got 3 more loops. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Now this is our looping animation. Now let's go ahead and offset the keyframes to make sure each letter is offset by 1 frame. So in order to do that, let's search path again. That looks good, and then we're gonna have the P at first. Select the R, offset it by 1 frame. Select the O, offset it. Alright, now we have all the keyframes offset. Let's hit U to show everything, and let's see the animation now. I like it, it's pretty smooth and fluid. Before we continue, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We will publish new content every week. Click the subscribe button to level up your animation skills and get inspired with great animation every week. You can also join our exclusive community to hang out with motion designers to grow together. Check the link in the description below. Now that we have our animation, we'll pre-compose these 3 layers. Call this one animation. And then let's go to scale property, hit S on the keyboard, unlink the proportion here, and then we can drag the Y scale all the way up so that we can fill the entire text within our composition. This is what it looks like. And next thing we're gonna do, let's go stylize this animation even further. We can go to add a adjustment layer. And on the adjustment layer, let's go search for turbulence displace. On the turbulence, let's change the amount to 25 and then change the size down to 5. Just make it really small so that you can see there's a very subtle roughened edges. And when I play it, this is what it looks. And if we want to exaggerate the wave even further, we can also add another effect called the time displacement. First of all, we need a new solid layer. And call this one displacement map. I'm going to drop this layer underneath the adjustment layer. And over here, we need a gradient ramp effect. And for the gradient ramp, I'm gonna do a black on the left and then white on the right. Just a very gradual linear gradient. Then we're gonna add a time displacement effect onto our animation composition. Let's go search for time displacement. And then inside this time displacement effect, we're gonna choose the displacement map as our displacement and then choose the effects and masks as the displacement. We can hide the invisibility of this displacement map. Now you can see this is the kind of effect we got. Right now it's a bit messy. We need to adjust the setting a little bit, but if I play it without changing any of the setting, this is what it looks like. It's making our transition more wavy. And you can see over here, there is some pixelation happening. This is controlled by this time resolution. If I turn up the resolution, let's say change it to 250. So once we change the resolution to 250, you can see the pixelation is reduced. However, we still need to tone down the displacement time. Let's change it to maybe 0.75 so that we don't have that much of a curve. And this is what it looks like. Before we continue, I want to explain how the time displacement effect works, because we're going to use it later on in the other project as well. I have a letter T that's animated in the Y position, and you can see it's just rotating in 3D space. First, let's go add a solid. And on the solid, I need to go grab a gradient ramp. Now let's keep this gradient ramp from the top to the bottom. Now I can add a time displacement effect onto my letter T. Let's go to time displacement. Basically, the time displacement effect is taking this gradient value from the black to white and using it to display the corresponding pixels across time. What it means is that if I go select the solid color as my displacement map for this letter T, and then I need to go select this effects and max. Let's turn off this gradient color. Let's see the animation we got after we did that. And you can see my T is actually twisting instead of just rotating in the Y position as a whole. And the reason is that the time displacement effect is taking this gradient value, basically wherever there's white pixel, it's gonna display the pixel that's corresponding to this white area, which is the bottom of the T, to make it go forward in time, meaning even at 0 second, this part is already animated. The pixels has been shifted forward in time. The animation is already happening even before the keyframe is there. So with that said, whenever there is a black pixel or on the top, it's being delayed by the time displacement effect. And in that case, since the top is being delayed and then the bottom is being pushed forward, that's why we're seeing this twisting effect. When we toggle the timeline, you can see it's animating based on the gradient value of my gradient map. And all these pixels that's on the letter T is being shifted forward and backward in time. And just remember, whenever there is white pixel on the gradient map, the pixel that's affected, which is the bottom of the T, whenever there's black pixels on the displacement map, the corresponding pixel, which is the top of the T, is being shifted backward in time. The animation is being delayed. So that's what's happening with the time displacement effect. So that's what's happening with the time displacement effect. You can also go on YouTube to search for other tutorials to get deeper into this topic. It's definitely one of those concepts that's hard to understand unless you dive deep into it. And once you play around with it, you will get familiar with this concept and it will become natural to you. Now let's get back to our animation. Another thing is, if you want, you can also add some animated texture. We're not gonna do it here today because I already showed you how to do that in the previous lessons. And that's it with this video. Hope you like this style and I'll see you in the next video. That's it with this video. Hope you liked it and learned a couple tips and tricks for our next project. Let me know if this video is helpful in the comments down below and what other videos or tutorials you'd like to see on this channel. I love to hear your feedback. Also, let me know in the comments if you'd like to use a different effect or do anything differently from this video. Let's keep sharing and grow together. One last thing, don't forget to join our exclusive Discord community to hang out with fellow designers. Stay on top of industry trends and grow together. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.